Hey, Boo, welcome to another podcast episode of Confident AF Live. My name is Brandon Foster. I'm your confidence coach. I'm here to encourage, inspire you to be certain in the gifts God has put in your heart to serve the world, to have that amazing, awesome life and biz you've always wanted. Today, we're going to talk about judgment and jealousy inside of your business and inside of your personal life. And can I be really honest with y'all? I can be such a jealous person. I can be such a judgmental person. And I still know I have a really good heart. I am a good person. I have a great heart. I want to help people. We all have moments of judgment. We all have moments of jealousy. It is not good. Judgment will destroy your relationships. It can destroy your business. It can destroy your forward momentum. It can destroy uh how you feel about yourself. It can destroy your confidence. It can destroy so many things inside of your life and your business. If you're faith-based, is that there's no wonder in my mind at this point in time of why Satan is called the accuser, because that's from a place of judgment. And it's also, to me, it's like, okay, so I didn't come to judge the world, I came to save the world, right? Like, there's judgment is so vicious, and jealousy is what starts to create that judgment in a lot of different ways. And so I just really want to riff about this topic because one, I I kind of want to sound the warning bells, so to speak, for you in your business to know that it's gonna happen. Two, I want to give you so much love and so much encouragement so that when you does happen, you are okay. Like, you don't freak out and think like God's gonna come and strike you or punish you, or like your business is gonna implode and like there's no hope and everything is lost. And I also, everything that happens in our life or business, God, the universe will turn to good. And so I want to express to you how jealousy can be a good thing and how judgment is a very helpful indicator of how you can grow and develop as a leader, as a human being, as a business owner. So this is going to be a really great and really powerful topic to talk about. So the first thing I want to say is, why does jealousy happen and why does judgment happen? So jealousy happens when we see someone, a human being, who has something that we want and we feel like we can't have it, or that God or the universe is withholding it from us, or that it's unattainable for us. And so we get angry and we get bitter and we be resentful. So I have been jealous of other people's sales. I have been jealous of other people's amazing companies. I have been jealous of people's houses. I have been jealous of people's finances. I'm a human being, y'all. I've been jealous of things all the time. And not all the time, but now that I'm aware of it, I see it happening. And so it's one of those things that's like, when you realize that it's like when you're tracking your macros, right? And you're watching what you eat. When you start to really notice what you eat, you realize what is healthy and what is not healthy. So when I started to realize, like, when I would get jealous of other people and I really understood jealousy and what it really meant and how was it affecting me internally, how it could affect my business, how it could affect relationships. Once I became aware of it, I started to notice like how frequently like I could get jealous about things. And that's good, y'all. That's helpful, because when you accept it and you see it, then you can change it and you can heal it and you can move away from it. So it's a really beautiful thing. It's not something to feel guilty or ashamed of. We're all humans. We all do it. The thing is until you realize it's happening, until you accept that it's happening, you can't do anything about it. And so there's great beauty in that. So yes, I can be a jealous person. And the good news is that when you realize that you're jealous, it realizes that it's something that you actually want. So if there's a car that you're jealous that someone has, if there's sales, if there's team, if there's a business, if they're like whatever it is that you're jealous of that somebody else has, their body, their relationship, whatever it is, that is just an indicator that you want what they have. So from that perspective, that's really helpful, because if you're like, oh, I don't really want the sales, but then you're jealous, you're like, yeah, you do. You were not honest with yourself. You were lying. If you're like, oh, I don't need that fancy car, or I don't need that house, but then you're jealous, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because you wouldn't be jealous if you didn't want it. It's like, I am never jealous when my husband eats sushi. Now, if my husband had queso and wouldn't share, I would be jealous. Right? But like, if my husband is having like sushi, like raw fish, have at it. Don't want it, don't need it, no desire, no jealousy whatsoever. And so whenever you are jealous, realize that it is something that you actually want to experience. And that is such a good, and as I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing that there's been some things recently that I didn't think I wanted that apparently I do want. So remember that if you're jealous, it's something you actually do want, which means you actually do get to have it. And the reason why you feel jealous is because you actually do want it and you feel like you can't have it. It's being withheld, or it's hard, or like God is withholding, making it harder, difficult for you. And none of that is true. Those are all lies. So remember that too, because it's like, you won't be jealous if you knew you want it and you don't think that person is that special for having it, and you get to have it too in your own time, your own way, your own pace. It's going to be amazing and beautiful. Then that also takes away the jealousy. So part of the jealousy is that you feel like, you know, it's why people are jealous with people who have money, is because they feel like they have something that they can't have, that's unattainable for them. And I love Lisa Nichols said this in one of her speeches. I don't remember if it was YouTube. Maybe she wrote it in her book, Abundance Now, but she says, never be jealous of me, because anything I have, you can have too. Anything I've done, you can do too. And it's such a powerful and true statement. And I love that my husband is an example of this, because one thing I love about my husband is that he will see what somebody else has. So he's doing through the speaker program thing. He's learning how to develop into a speaker. He has an amazing book called It's Okay to Be an Idiot. He's a really funny human being. We met at Circus Clowns. He has a book called It's Okay to Be an Idiot. He has a speech that says it's okay to be an idiot. So he's developing, blossoming into this amazing public speaker. And he just sat down with someone who gets paid like $55,000 a speaking gig. And he got really jealous and got really angry, but he turns it really quickly and is like, I'm angry because I know that person is no better than me, no more special than me, which is so true. Because what he's really saying is not more loved than me by God, has not been set up for more success than me, than, God. Because this is what I love. And I've talked about this in my courses before, but it is true that like I grew up in a middle income households, higher middle income households, and I have, white privilege. So it's true that I had a different deck of cards than what other people are dealt. And it's also true that my deck of cards is not as good as some of the decks that other people are dealt. And it's true that God is the neutralizer of the deck of cards that are given to you when you exercise your faith and your belief in what is possible and who you can become, and are willing to allow God to move in and do amazing things that you can't do on your own. Also true. So why does jealousy happen? Because we see something, we want it, we feel like it's being withheld from us, or we can't achieve it. And it's good because it tells us something that we actually want. So if we can accept that we want it, then we can start to take action toward it. We can ask God for help with it, and we can develop our own skill sets, our own uniqueness, our own amazingness to actually achieve it. So like, there's so much good that comes from recognizing that you're being jealous. Where jealousy turns really bad is when you don't harvest the good from it, and then the jealousy turns into judgment. And so usually jealousy turns into judgment when you don't realize it's something that you want, and you decide to put the other person down as to why they are worse than you, because that's what it is. So it's like, oh, that wealthy person has that car. Oh, that business owner has that business. And because you're jealous and you feel insecure, you don't feel worthy enough, you don't feel good, you feel like God's withholding, you're going to bash them and judge them so that you feel momentarily better about yourself. So it's like, oh, well, yeah, they have the business, but that's because they just hired 300 people and they didn't care who they hired. So they're not a very good leader. It could be, well, they have the money, but that's because they're greedy and they don't give. And like we make all these assumptions about people and we judge people because we want to feel better. So, and the thing is, it's because we've already started by judging ourselves, right? Because what happens is you're jealous that someone has something that you actually want, the results, the team, the car, the house, the body, like whatever it is. So you're judging that. And as you're jealous, you judge yourself for not having that. And because you're judging yourself, you separate the love. And where there is a separation of love, good things do not happen. And so you feel really, really terrible inside. And because you feel really, really terrible inside, you're going to go judge somebody else so that you feel better about yourself inside. But what happens is you judge the other person, you see all these stories and things about them inside of your head, and you're judging them. It separates the love. And then you momentarily feel better, but then you feel worse because you realize you're judging the other person and you're being mean. So, do y'all see that cycle? It's a really not good cycle once jealousy moves into judgment. So if you're jealous, neutralize, forgive the ideas that you're not lovable, you're not worried, that God's not supporting you, realize it's something that you want, and then reaffirm that you get to have it and choose to let go of all the ideas that say why you can't have it, why they have it and you don't, blah, 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 whatever that is. So I already kind of went into this, but like, how do you end the jealousy? And once the jealousy does turn to judgment, how do you stop the judgment? Well, forgiveness. So forgiveness is the restoration of love. Forgiveness is acceptance of, I really want the thing, and I was judging the person because I was judging myself, because I was insecure and I felt bad and da 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 da. And just remember that you, like, forgiveness is just a tool and a resource that's always available to you. And if you're faith-based, you admit the judgment, admit the jealousy, hand it over for unconditional love to work through and to help you toward that goal, dream, aspiration that you're jealous of, and accept that you want it. Don't feel guilt or shame that you want it, because that's a whole nother worthiness issue and everything else. Just forgive. So, judgment and jealousy. Let's all commit to not doing that. If you have not ordered my book yet, Confident AF, Unleash Your Inner Badass, I think it's pre-order right now. Maybe you're listening to this after it's already out. Doesn't matter. Order the book. I would love to encourage you, inspire in there. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, Confident AF Mindset Practices, make sure you do that. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Just help me, y'all. I would love for your help to spread the good news and encouragement that I give through all the things. So please help me. If this encouraged you, if it inspired you, if it's helping you, share this with friends, share this with family. I don't care if they're entrepreneur or not, but share them. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm grateful you're listening. And I can't wait for next week. We're going to talk about reaping and sowing inside of your business. It's going to be a really good one.